It's Mom and Pop Video Shop.
Welcome to the Mom and Pop Video Shop. I am Joel, and I am Sans Tyson, my co-host, my beloved co-host. He had actual, real life things to do, like working and family. So he wishes he could be here. He can't be here, et cetera, et cetera. But I am here because we are talking to Andrew Baltes. See, got it.
Yeah,
right out the gate. A actor who has been in many a Chris Seaver production. Those who watch the channel should know of Chris Seaver. And Andrew is co-host of a show I love dearly, SOV Vigilantes. I love that show. I think you made the joke when we were messaging back and forth. You didn't know anyone actually watched it.
Because I don't ever get the feedback.
Yeah.
Chris will get the feedback. He knows.
Yeah.
I have no clue. Hey, we've got one viewer. That's fantastic.
A viewer who has bought several of your recommendations and your co-host recommendations. As we progress, I was trying to remember the ones you recommended, and maybe we get a little further show and we start talking about SOV specific. Maybe we can see if I have any of yours here. I do have some of your movies that you're in.
Okay.
At the ready to discuss.
I'm excited to see what you got.
Oh, okay. So right out the gate, how did you get started in indie filmmaking? Was it because you always wanted to be an actor? Were you just friends with Chris Seaver and that worked out? How did it happen?
It sort of, I grew up like everybody else in the 80s and 90s with a camcorder. You've got the big old Quasar camcorder and filmed shot on video horror movies growing up quite frequently. I made a couple of crappy movies. One of them actually just got turned into a comic book recently, which I don't know that it's out yet. I haven't gotten to see it yet, but The Curly Killer.
Killer?
Chris has seen. We'll have to see if we can get you a copy of it.
Dude, I will happily buy a copy. I want that.
It's hilarious. We were 15 years old shooting that at a buddy's house over Christmas vacation. Terrible movie, but it was a lot of fun to make. But I grew up doing that and ended up getting into acting when I was in high school. Completely as a joke, because I didn't think, I was like, I'm not going to be an actor. That's not really a thing. But they were auditioning for A Christmas Carol my senior year of high school. And I joked with a buddy. I'm like, let's go audition for that. I auditioned and I was like, I'm going to audition for there's a role of the Ghost of Christmas Future, the Grim Reaper that just points at things. Yes. And I thought, I'll audition for that. That'll be easy. I don't have any lines. The director said, well, you have to audition for 3 parts. And I was like, well, shit. There's an undertaker in the script who has 1 or 2 lines. Okay, I auditioned for that. And he's like, well, you got to audition for a 3rd. So I auditioned for Tiny Tim. I'm not tiny.
As a senior in high school, you. Yeah.
I'm 6'2" and 200 pounds. I am not tiny. I'm not huge, but I'm not.
That is not an adjective. I got it. Yeah.
I just was trying to be a smart ass. So I auditioned for that. And I didn't get the parts of any of them. And I was so upset about it until I read the rest of the sheet where everybody who got parts, so the call sheet or whatever, I got cast as Scrooge.
Oh my God.
So that completely backfired on me. I thought I was going to have no lines.
And now you are the lead of the play.
Yeah. I almost quit. I was like, oh shit, that didn't work out. So that was pretty funny, but I ended up, I loved it. I had so much fun with it that I did every production that year. And when I went into college, I went into school for advertising and kind of got bored with that. About 2 years into school and switched. So I went into theater and psychology. So I have a degree in acting and a degree in psychology.
Yes, and like most of us, your degree is used in your actual adult life as part of your day-to-day career, correct?
It weirdly it is. I think I use the acting as in I act a lot of the time I'm serious and I care.
Yes.
It's not true most of the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did work out. I mean,
to be fair, actually, yeah, I'd be a total smart. 'Cause obviously, you're in.
But no, I know what you mean though, because literally, like, I was like, well, I'm never going to use this.
I was just talking to somebody. My son's actually about to graduate high school, my oldest, and we were discussing like things he's interested in, and some school oriented things, but even like the trades a little, some things in the trades, and it's just funny because like I was trying to rack my brain of how many people that I know that actually use the degree that they got.
Yeah, you don't meet a whole lot of people that do.
No, it does happen, but
yeah. And
I can think of like one or two.
What I do in real life, not in acting.
Yeah.
Not related at all.
Yeah. Other than, well, I mean, to be fair, psychology would always be helpful, I would think, and
it is. People. I'm pretty good at reading people.
Yeah,
but beyond that, no, it's not very useful.
And you just lean in and go, and you point at me and go, asshole, and you cut out.
That's it. I don't know.
I'm good at reading people.
Why am I on this? But no, the Chris thing didn't happen until years later. I did all throughout college and even after college. I did a lot of advertising. So I did commercials, commercial acting, voice acting, a lot of different things like that. But I kept up with theater, like local theater and stuff like that, just for fun, as like a hobby. I met Chris at Cinema Wasteland. I want to say it was like 2002 in Cleveland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Still one of my favorite conventions. If you ever are in the Midwest and you get a chance, Cinema Wasteland, it's a ton of fun.
Okay. But
I was walking through a convention and, just buying movies and whatever. And all I hear is, hey, fuckface, come buy our movies. I'm like, who the hell was that? To this day, I don't actually know if it was Chris or if it was Casey as Teen Ape. It could have been either one of them. But I went to the booth, I saw their movies, and I'm like, these are amazing. Because his earlier stuff was like, it was a lot of what I was watching at the time anyway. Like I was watching like Todd Sheets movies and, just like super low budget stuff that was over the top, gory, violent, and his movies funny. And I fell in love with these movies. They were amazing. And we had a friendship for years and years beyond that. And I think it was, what did we decide? 2009, he was shooting Terror at Bloodfart Lake, which the weirdest thing, the most interaction I have with fans for the movies is all about Terror at Bloodfart Lake. I think there's not a week that goes by that a random person doesn't message me on Facebook or Instagram and says, hey, you were in Bloodfart Lake. That's my favorite movie. I'm like, what? What?
That's awesome.
But it's hilarious. I absolutely love it. So if anybody's watching this and you watch Bloodfart Lake, thank you. It's amazing. But he messaged me, I guess one of the people that was in it dropped out last minute, and he said, hey, I know you can do this. Is there any way that you can take time off work and come out and do it? And I've been shooting with Chris ever since. Cool. Pretty much any project after that he has, if I'm available, I'll come do it. It's, I love it. So
did you live near him, or was it just you happened to meet him at that con?
Okay. At the time I was living in Indiana.
Wow.
So I'm born and raised in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but he was shooting out of Rochester, New York. Mm-hmm. So not anywhere near each other, but I flew out there just on a whim to a guy I barely knew. And
that's cool, man.
Yeah. So, and then it became a thing where it was 4 or 5 times a year flying out to Rochester, either just to hang out or shoot movies or, whatever. I've been through, I think, every iteration of Chris, doing like the low budget pictures and then on to Warlock Home Video. One day I'm going to meet the Warlock. I want to meet that guy, but I have yet to meet him. We'll see. It could happen.
So that the Warlock isn't you?
No.
Oh, really? I thought or is it?
I've never met the guy. I don't know.
I'm a gullible ass. Just so we're clear on that.
No, and I'm an asshole, so it'll work fine.
We will get along great, Andrew.
No, I 100% am the Warlock.
I was like thinking, I was about to, because I was going to ask you about that. I was like, oh, so what's like playing the Warlock? And you made that comment, like, I'm pretty confident he's joking right now.
What? Oh, and also, if you'll notice, every once in a while, I will start a smoker's cough. I'm just getting over a cold. This is like the most annoying thing ever. So if I start wheezing uncontrollably, that's
only
why.
If you could drop your voice a couple octaves and do the Warlock, then we'll be good.
Oh yeah. No, the Warlock is me. For anybody who doesn't actually know that,
it's anybody that's a gullible ass like Joel, then yes,
it's 100% me. But it's really fun to do that at conventions because Chris has this thing where we haven't done it in a while because we haven't done a convention, but he'll put the cloak on and I can't see. Like I can't see anyway.
It hangs down.
I mean, it covers my face. I cannot see. Yeah. And when it's on, he has to guide me. Like he'll literally grab my hand and walk me through the convention because I can't see. So he does this funny thing where we will walk up to a celebrity or somebody. He never tells me who it is. And he'll just have me start talking. And I'll interview like celebrities or sometimes it's just random people who'll make me think it's somebody important.
Yeah.
I have no idea who it is, so I just start talking.
Yeah.
And it's really fun.
I did notice you've actually played the Warlock outside of Chris Seaver films, right?
Yes. Recently, we did Bruce Longo's Coven of the Black Cube.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. Yes.
Which
that's cool.
I filmed. We were in Chris's basement when we filmed that.
Oh, really?
Yes. We were in Chris's basement when we filmed that. And Bruce came all the way up from Philly to Rochester to film that. So awesome. It was great seeing him. He is one of my favorite people. He is just like the nicest, most genuine dude. Yeah. So I can't say enough nice things about him. But
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, the Chris segment. Have you seen it?
I have not. I've been meaning to get it. It's on the list, the agenda.
Yeah, I actually think, I don't know if it's still going on. I think Bruce posted on his Facebook that they're doing a Blu-ray sale.
Oh,
like all of his movies are half off. I think they're like $9.99 right now.
Okay,
that's a cheap plug for Bruce.
I would say that it's on his Instagram.
Yeah, it's on his Instagram. Okay.
I won't get distracted in the middle of this interview.
That's totally fine.
I'm just going to make a note to self.
Note to self.
I do follow him. So,
now, have you seen his other movies?
I don't name a couple. I know I've heard of a couple of his.
Bloodsick Psychosis, Coven of the Black Cube. Oh my God! Why can A Corpse for Christmas?
See, I know those titles, but so just to give you the quick insight. So I am a guy who was a wannabe indie filmmaker way back in the day, but unlike Chris, I made some shorts. I made a feature in like 1999, but I unfortunately did not take the advice, which I now take, which is take the work serious, but don't take yourself serious. If you get my drift, I just took shit way too serious. And so I did some shorts. Like my literal only claim to fame, and anybody who's watching this, like, you should turn it into a drinking game. Oh, Joel mentioned Fangoria. Was that a Fangoria blood drive back in like 2004? So I was on the first blood drive. I had one short. It was
which short was yours?
Shadows of the Dead. It was the Night of the Living Dead ripoff about the doctor with the zombies. Yeah. Shot it on Digital 8 in like 24 hours and had no. Actually, I think we shot it like in 2000, 2001, somewhere. Like we shot it like way before the blood drive, and I did it, and I ended up originally I got it onto. You remember when Yahoo groups were a thing? Do you remember Yahoo groups? I was a Horror Host Underground. I was a part of the Horror Host Underground. Okay. Count Gore Duvall and like. Dr. Gang Green. I'm a massive Horror Host fan. I love Horror Host, dude.
I think that's how we first started talking.
Yes, because that's right. I gave you the Commander USA.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I felt like we'd had like a more in-depth conversation. I remember, dude, I'm getting fucking old, bro. I'm sorry.
No, believe me, I am too.
I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't Yeah, that's right. We have the horror host thing going.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, all the Commander stuff. I totally brain farted on that. But Count Gore and some of the other, and you know, I was, well, let's just say highly insecure about the work because, again, unlike Chris, what I admire about Chris, and I'll get to how I discovered you guys here in a second. What I love about Chris and just what you guys do is and I mean this is a total compliment, it's we don't give a shit. We're just having a great time, and you either get it or you don't. Not our problem.
I
love that.
It is a thing because, like, I've shown people his movies before, and they are just like, what the hell? Fuck is this? And they just, no, I can't do that. And like, I've shown people stuff I'm in, and they're like, hey, that's great, man. Good. We're
happy for you, buddy.
not for me.
Yes, exactly.
I get it.
Yes.
It's not.
But and I think I have this tendency, like, I truly like admire in others what I don't have it done. You know what I mean? Like, I respect and admire that. So, but anyway, the horror thing. So I ended up, Count Gore actually showed that short, and then like a couple of other guys in the group that were horror hosts had like cable access, showed it, and then like a year or so later, I submitted it to the Fango thing, and like literally, I got my name in one sentence in an issue of Fangoria. It was the one that had Samantha Mathis from the Salem's Lot remake on the cover, and literally getting my name, and I was obsessed with Fango all through high school.
Yeah.
It was just like, and then getting to see a disc with my name on it in a Blockbuster, like that was literally, I'm like, I can die now. I'm good.
Yeah.
But other than that, and then I got away from making movies, got a family, had life, blah, blah, blah. You know, became a teacher for a while. Then I worked at, I don't know if you're familiar with Publix, the grocery store down here.
I worked
through their corporate office for like 8 years. My wife and I now have a business that we do on our own. But in the last few years, my buddy Tyson, who's the co-host on this show, usually, we had gotten to know each other, and he knew I had done some movies. Like, hey, man, we got to get back into that. I'm like, I have no desire to ever do that shit again, bro. I love movies. I love watching them. I love talking about them. But that's a lot of damn work. And I really hate Hollywood and don't want to have anything to do with that world. Like, not thinking like, oh, duh, you could just do your own thing and it doesn't matter. Point is, he convinced me over time. We started doing this channel, the Mom and Pop Video Shop, which then led us to working on some short projects. And somewhere along there, I found on Tubi the doc about Chris and all you guys.
Yeah,
the low budget heroes thing that
zero budget heroes.
Yeah, zero budget heroes. I have the Blu-ray and I've got it on VHS.
Yeah.
I was just, it was like one of those moments where I had watched some SOV as a kid. Like Ozone is like one of my favorite movies, period. Like I call that, for me, it's the Citizen Kane of SOV. Like, I love that movie.
It is
unironically.
That was J.R. Bookwalter.
Yep.
Wow. No, that was a big one for me growing up because I remember reading about it in Fangoria. And what was it? The Notes from the Underground?
Yes, Notes from the Underground. That's where I first heard about like Ron Bonk and all those guys. Tim Ritter, everybody. Yep.
Well, like Tim Ritter was the big one that I took away from that because they had I think it was Wicked Games.
Yep.
They had like the photo of Wicked Games from the Truth or Dare sequel, and I was just like, I got to find all of these movies and. Ozone was a huge one in that time period. So I
remember reading Notes from the Underground. I love Notes from the Underground. Loved it. And it was a Crinoline Head. And there was just so many different movies that I remember reading about. And I could never find them because when I was really young, we had like a couple mom and pop video stores, but most of my main one throughout high school was Specs Movies and Music, which was great because it was at the mall and they actually had a halfway decent horror section. And then I had Movie Warehouse and Movie Warehouse did have Redneck Zombies. Okay. But I think that was it. And then Ozone, it was probably the year after I graduated because I think it came out, 93? Was it 93, 94?
Yeah, 93, 94.
Yeah, and I graduated in 94. So right around that era, I found it in a Blockbuster. I never really could find.
Yeah.
Which, of course, in hindsight, like, hey, dumbass, if you just looked at like the back of Fangoria, there's like all of these companies you could have written to, and I never took the initiative to do that.
Right. Well, you ran that risk back in the day of like ordering it and
you're going to get ripped off.
Because that happened.
Yeah, exactly. But I wish I at least taken the shot because there were so many things I didn't see until much later. So I watched that doc. I was like, okay, these guys are awesome. I ended up the Teen Ape Goes to Camp was on Tubi. That was like the first one I came across.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, these guys are fantastic. This is ridiculous and wonderful, and I love it. And then I went down this like blood-soaked, I'd say it was a rabbit hole, but it was more like the rabbit's bloodied rectum. It was just this, and it was awesome. And so then you guys started doing SOV Vigilantes. I was like, hell yes. And you were mentioning titles that over the years I had heard about. Like I hear about them, blah, 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 but I'd never seen them. Like Video Violence and Wood Chipper Master, all of these things. I was like somebody who's just been introduced to crack, and just is like, okay. And I'm like, everything you guys are mentioning, I'm like writing them down. I'm getting on Amazon. I'm getting on, all of it, dude. It was great. So thank you for starters.
I think we need to do some more episodes because I have really most of the stuff I've done is like pretty basic, like everybody knows these
intro
titles.
to SOV.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of starting to lean into it, but like, man, we've got some ridiculous stuff. And so hopefully we'll be doing some more of that soon. We'll get you some more titles.
Okay. I'm trying to remember some of the ones you're like into the episode recommendations. Cause I know I got, was it Highways Hell or Highway Hell? That was Chris.
Oh God! Oh, now I'm totally drawing a blank. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I know Night Ripper I got, but that was Clint.
Night Ripper was Clint. Chris was the one with. I can literally picture the movie, and I'm going to kick myself for not remembering what it's called because it's amazing.
I may have it if you can remember because
I don't think it's Highway to Hell, but it's been a long day. I've been up since 5.
No, so I understand.
My brain is not working.
One of you guys recommended Savage Harvest. I got that one.
So Chris and I both love. I think all three of us actually. Yeah. Clint loves it too, but that Blu-ray is phenomenal.
Yeah, and then.
So good.
Well, I did this. I literally probably have like over 100 different titles now. And so I made the mistake of like buying just a shit ton of stuff. So now it's just finding the time to go through.
Oh my God.
There's so much stuff I haven't watched.
Well, and I will say Tubi is dangerous for that reason because really there are so many good shot on video movies on Tubi.
Yes.
I have gone down a rabbit hole, speaking of which. Have you watched any of the Polonia movies?
Okay, so funny you mentioned that because I think we talked about this briefly.
Yes.
The only two of theirs that I know I have. Losing the mic. The only two I know I have. This was relatively new, and these were on sale. I think through like SRS Video.
Okay,
they were doing like one of their big sales. They were like $2 a piece or something.
Yeah.
Deadly Playthings. I'm fairly certain is a relatively new one. Yeah, and then I got Lethal Nightmare.
Lethal Nightmare is really old.
Okay.
Lethal Nightmare, I want to say, is 87.
It looks about that era from the back of the box.
So it's one of their earlier movies. It's when both brothers were still alive. One of the brothers, I believe it was John, passed away, which is really unfortunate because they were obviously brothers, but a really good filmmaking team. Yeah. But Lethal Nightmare is great. But I have fallen down that rabbit hole recently on Tubi where it's like any Polonia movie I can find on there, I've added to my list.
You're mainlining it.
I have told Chris this, that, it was like, okay, I've been in plenty of Chris Seaver movies. Not that I don't want to keep doing them, but I've been in a Chris Seaver movie. I've been in 3 or 4 Todd Sheets movies, which is insane to me. Like he's a guy I grew up watching
his stuff. Yeah.
And I've been in multiple Todd Sheets movies too, which is awesome. He is a really good dude. I've done a movie with Bruce. I've done this, that, or whatever. My big goal, and if they're listening, which maybe they are, I don't know, if I could be in a Polonia movie. Okay. That is my wish. I want to be in it.
That'd be great.
Because he does, Mark does, I don't know how many movies a year at this point in time. Mm-hmm. So statistically speaking,
you should be able to at least get one. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, just be in one of them. That would be amazing. But I have told Chris that so many times that I just want to be in a Polonia movie. Yeah, so
that'd be great.
If anyone wants to put me in one, you let me know.
Okay, especially if your last name is Polonia. I don't know which one of you guys recommended Scary Tales, but was that you?
I think that was me.
I felt like I bought at least one of the ones you had said.
Yeah, Scary Tales is great. Have you watched that one yet?
No. I don't think I have yet. No.
That one is pretty fantastic. So I'm pretty sure
a lot of these, as soon as I got them, I popped them in and started looking at some of the special features. So that's also, I love just seeing the, behind the scenes stuff with them and everything. So I probably did that, but I don't remember seeing the movie.
I would recommend that one pretty quick.
All right, I'm going to set this over into make a priority. This one, I don't feel like you guys recommend it. I don't remember where I first heard. Maybe you did. Zombie Army. Was that you guys? Did you guys recommend that one?
I think maybe Clint brought that one up.
Maybe that's right. Yeah. I thought this was great, dude. This is great.
No, it is. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And Wood Chipper Massacre, was that any of you guys, or was that just what I happened to when they were doing a sale in can't remember who was it? Was it Television that put this out, or was it?
We might have brought that one up, but it's not one of my favorites. That one is actually kind of it's slow.
Yes.
So John McBride is the guy who did that, and he
Cannibal Campout, right?
Yes.
I have that one too, and I haven't watched that one yet, but I have that.
Cannibal Campout is like super action-packed, ridiculous, gory, fun. Wood Chipper Massacre is very slow, and there's not really much of a massacre.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes,
so
fair enough. Well, my wife and I, funny side note, my wife and I, when we're getting ready to fall asleep at night, after we watch an episode of The Jeffersons and Severance, we did right before going to sleep. As you go, we either watch Cold Case Files or Forensic Files.
Okay.
So we have a problem. The very first episode of Forensic Files from like the mid 90s is the actual crime this was based on.
Oh, the whichever. Oh my God.
I was, because I had just watched this with my kids. They had actually watched it with me. And I was like, what? And they were talking, and the way they were talking, I was like, wait a minute.
You're like,
that sounds like the actual crime that he described in the behind the scenes. And it was enough. I looked it up. It was the exact crime. But yeah, no, I liked it. Yeah, it's almost weirdly feels like a kid's movie at first.
Well, yeah, it's
super like what kind of vanilla, and nothing really happens. They don't even like swear. And then all of a sudden, like the uncle or whoever it is shows up.
Yeah.
Then it gets R-rated all of a sudden. It's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say Cannibal Campout I prefer far
I need to watch.
That.
Yeah, I need to watch. I've got it. So
Video Violence is another one from that.
Yeah, era. I got Video Violence and Video Violence. So I got the box set.
Is it the Basement box set?
I know it was one of the one. It was the one that was it TerraVision that put it out? I think it was TerraVision. I could be wrong.
Oh yes, TerraVision did the double.
That's the one I've got.
Yes,
that's the one I got. Yeah.
No, so the I have the Basement.
I've seen that. I do not have that one. Yeah.
Okay. No, that one.
That was pricey if you didn't get it when it was out.
Yes,
that's why I went with the double one.
I bought that when it came out. So yes,
smart man. Because when you're late to the game, such as you have to pay the price. Yeah. This one I have not seen yet, and you probably know this, but I'm going to cover it. My buddy Dave, Dr. Shock Becker, who I've been podcasting with for years, we do an episode called. I've been doing it for. There's a show called Jay the Dead's New Horror Movies. It's a podcast I've been on for a long time. And we do a segment called Horror Lagoon. And it started off with like me focusing on like regional horror films. So it didn't have to be, they were mostly filmed, like shot on film. But that was actually, that helped kind of kick off, because around that time is when I found you guys. That's when I found, and then shortly after that, so I do a segment now called In the Horror Lagoon, where we focus on some SOV stuff too.
Yeah.
And we did Ozone. And what's hilarious is, again, getting old, we shot this whole episode of, I actually just put it out on Ozone, and Jay points and goes, we covered that like a year and a half or 2 years ago on the show, right? With you. Like that was the thing we did. I was like, well, I guess we're doing it again.
No, and we've done that before on our show.
Yeah, where you talk
about stuff. It's like, oh, we've already talked about
but when you love something, you love something. This is the next one Dave and I are going to do. It's called Frankie and His Pals. Have you seen this one?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay.
So who put that out recently? Was that Intervision?
It's Intervision. This is the Intervision copy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I watched the trailer. This looks kind of amazing.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one. So maybe that'll be in my to watch pile.
Okay, cool. And then obviously the one that I think, along with Ozone, most people had at their local video store.
Oh, Redneck Zombies was a big one for me. So
yeah, I remember you guys talking about it. Yeah. And I thought I had seen it, and I feel like I had seen it because that back then I just rented anything that was in the horror section. So
yeah.
But it's weird. Like when you guys were talking about it, it's like I remember it being on the shelf. I feel like I would have rented it, but then I ended up buying this, like the one that I guess Troma had put out or whatever. And I rewatched it, and you like when you watch something, you're like, it's been so long.
Yeah.
Things seem familiar, but you're like, did I watch this?
You're like, this is a fever dream. Did
yeah.
I do this? Like,
yeah. But anyway, regardless, it's still a fun movie. I really like it. Now we're going to get into some Seaver territory with you. Dybbuk You. I think I remember when you guys were talking about that SMV Vigilantes, I had to acquire.
Yeah. Dybbuk You, funny fact, is the first and I think only time I have ever written anything.
Yes, I was actually going to ask you about that because I remember I was going to say, do you have any aspirations to be a writer and or a director? Or
no, not really. That was Chris. We were talking about it, and the idea came about through a stupid Food Network show or a Travel Channel show where this guy he's kind of a hillbilly dude talking about food, and he was talking about carnival food, and he's like, I'm gonna deep fry my ribs, you're gonna call them Frybarbecue. And I was like, ugh, more like Dybbuk You. And he started laughing about it. He's like, that's it, you're writing it.
Yeah, that's a great title. Yeah.
And that's honestly, like, we've had so many brainstorming sessions where there was a time at Wasteland, I think it was, where we were just sitting in the hotel room with like a lot of the cast coming up with movie titles, and we're like, oh fuck, we got to write that. What's it going to be about? I have no clue, but we're writing it.
Yep.
But there's still one movie that we haven't made. Well, two movies that have the best Warlock titles that we haven't made yet.
Okay, we'll tease that. Don't give it away.
We're not gonna but it was literally one. I don't know who. I think Chris came up with one of them, and it sounds like it would be the most intense movie. Like, it sounds like a really good movie title. And then the other one is something really stupid that I said that I'm like, oh, great. But then everybody stopped and then started laughing hysterically. And we're like, oh, we've got to make that.
Yeah.
We still haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But mostly because we have no idea what the hell it would be about.
Well, I love the metric. Like, I love that attitude of like, okay, everybody laughed their ass off. That's a winner.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But what is it going to be?
I have no idea. It's going to involve teens that are played by 40-somethings or 50-somethings.
Always. Have you seen Wellsville Nights yet? Do you? Okay, you're reading.
I have not only seen. What did I sit down here? I should have brought it. Hold on, damn it! I know I brought it over with me. Come on, Wellsville, where you at, buddy? There it is. Boom.
I was going to say you have the Blu-ray. I
have invested in Wellsville Nights, my friend.
I can't remember if I have a Blu-ray of it or not. I'm actually the worst about anything I'm in.
Yeah. I probably have more movies of yours than you do. Is that what you're saying?
You may have more than I do. I don't actually remember if I have that or not. I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And I will tell you, your janitor. Was it Carl?
Jeff.
That's right, Jeff. Sorry,
Janitor
Carl,
Jeff.
Is Carl the janitor in Breakfast Club? Did I just like do a weird?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah. I feel like it might be.
Yeah,
anyway,
it could be.
But yes, I love that. Like, literally, I laughed. it was because it's just so ridiculous. Like we're supposed to be like 16 years old, and you got like your full beard with like the pepper in it. And I can identify. I mean, I'm a bald man, but when it does grow in a little bit, I've got the pepper as well. And it's just like, and you come over and you're like friends with all the kids, and it's great, dude.
And I tried to play that as serious and stoic as possible,
and it works great. Like,
because everybody in that show is so out there that it's just like
but you come across as like that wizened older janitor, but then it's revealed that you're obviously supposed to be kind of like their age, and somehow you
but I'm a year older.
That's right. You're a year older. That's right.
I'm so much wiser than
yes.
that.
Oh, dude, it's so great.
Age of 16.
Yeah, I told Chris, I cannot wait to see the next couple episodes of that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get that back up and running this summer. We've got it planned for filming.
Yep.
Last year there were just some health issues, and we had to put a delay on it. But hopefully this summer we're back on board. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that'd be cool.
That's one of the things I have coming up soon. So.
I believe you are in a couple of the Stoinky saga.
Yeah, I think that's me on the cover. I think on the bottom right, is that?
Yes, I think that looks like it could be you.
With a very dark beard.
Yes,
seriously, it wasn't.
Actually, you know what's hilarious, dude? You're wearing a Slumber Party Massacre shirt here too.
I'm literally probably wearing the same shirt
one
that I was in that, which is
that's amazing. I just noticed that.
I am the most boring person ever, and I don't change very much.
The person who wears a Slumber Party Massacre shirt is not boring, Andrew.
It's just me.
Okay. That's great. Yes.
That shoot, that was a Stoinkmare before Christmas, I believe.
Yes. Yes. And were you in the Stoinkmare on Halloween Street as well?
I was not.
Okay. Well, you better get IMDb to correct that, because I believe they have that listed as one of your credits.
IMDb has some stuff that I am most definitely not in.
Okay. Well, as we go through these, you could be like, nope, not in that one.
Yeah, no. So Stoinkmare before Christmas, I was in, and I think that might have been the hardest I've ever laughed at one gag in a Chris Seaver movie ever. And it was the dumbest, most simple thing ever. But it's the scene where the wind is blowing in our face. Between Alec and Chris and I, we were just like tears streaming down our face laughing at that, because he's shooting a leaf blower at our face.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stoinkmare before Christmas. It was a rough shoot, but it was a fun one.
Yeah, and I usually you guys shoot these in just how many days? Like, because I remember Chris saying it was usually a couple days.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, Stoinkmare I think was like one day. It's a 15-minute short, so
yeah.
Most of his movies, two days, maybe 3 if we're pushing it. But yeah they're very quick.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Oh,
I look back that feature that I made. I was looking through some paperwork I had on it, and I think we had a 14-day shoot, which is so effing insane. We had like a $5,000 budget, a 14-day shoot, and it's so funny at the time, being ungrateful little shit that I was. I'm like, bro, that's insane. When I think about when I hear guys like Chris, oh yeah, they shoot a feature like 2 days. No, 6 in a year.
Here's the thing: most people aren't going to be able to do a movie that quick. But Chris it's breakneck speed. Like,
do you guys do multiple takes, or is it pretty much a one take and you're done?
Really depends.
Well, the Warlock stuff I get. Like, I totally get that you guys probably just do, like, because obviously the whole point.
Yeah, Warlock is mostly one take, but like we kind of know what we're looking for. Like, we have an idea, like, oh, we're gonna do this, and if it doesn't work, or Jesus, there it goes.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, we'll shoot it over a couple of times. But with that, it's easy. Like, if there is a mistake, we leave it in. Fuck it. The mantra of fuck it. It's Warlock. It doesn't matter. It's true. We really, like, a lot of that shit's funnier when you leave the mistakes in. And
it's very I feel like that's very creatively freeing.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah. It's different in a lot of ways, because, like, I'm used to doing things like, I'm not sounding pretentious, but like doing stuff for theater or doing stuff for like paid voice acting or commercials or whatever, where you're like trying really hard to get it right. Mm-hmm. This is very different, because you're like, oh, I can screw up. Oh,
yeah. So that's an interesting point. So as somebody who, I didn't even think about that from the perspective of now, and I didn't realize you did like commercial and voiceover work too. So doing, like, I would assume those are like paid professional type jobs by and large. Yeah, okay, but
yeah,
you know, but you're like you're trying to get it right regardless.
Yeah,
and obviously theater, you know, that's the whole point. or it's going to be a very awkward opening night.
Be real bad.
Yeah, but. I always think that in a weird, I could see that always messing with your head a little bit, because there's probably that part of you that wants to, I would know, I just should be able to nail that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's the other party that's like, no, this is like SOV, and we're supposed to be, you know.
It does in a way, a lot of the time, but I'm one of those people that can memorize lines really, really quickly. And so that's always a goof with Chris, is like he'll write these giant paragraph like monologues for me to memorize. I think he does it to try and mess me up. But I'm also really good at paraphrasing what he says, so I might not get it exactly, but pretty close to it. But I did improv comedy.
Okay.
For like 2 or 3 years, and so. Again, that's sort of like, you know, you have the serious acting and then the comedy, and then like kind of mashing them together, and, you know, not being a perfectionist is good too. So just rolling with the punches, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of rolling with the punches, it's really a horrible segue, but I'm going to go to the next thing. It. So I have the Bone Jack and Teen Apes Dirty Dozen. Were you in any of these?
Sure. I have no idea.
We got the Mulva Zombie Ass Kicker. No, you weren't in that one. We got all the Filthy McNasty movies. I don't remember you being in any of those.
No, I didn't make it into any of the Filthy McNasty.
I think I've seen all of those, and I didn't remember you being in those. Carnage for the Destroyer, Film Crew, Teen Ape Goes to Camp. Nope. I don't think you were in that one. The Exile, Destruction Kings, Wet Heat, and Taint Light. Another one that IMDb lists you as being in.
I'm in Taint Light, and it's funny, people don't recognize me in it because I look very different in Taint Light. I am Wrathbone. I am one of the Vampire Brothers. I have the bob wig, like the black bob wig. That was completely by accident. Chris had ordered a different wig to get me to look like one of the vampires. He got it, and I ended up looking like the berries and cream guy from whatever commercial that was, the Starburst berries and cream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
But we kept it. We're like, fuck it. Let's do the wig. But you were talking about the video stores you grew up with. In Fort Wayne, there was the biggest video store we had was called Delmar Video.
Okay.
That was like the mecca of horror. Like anything horror you wanted to find was at Delmar Video. Like the day I turned 18 or 16 or whatever, I could get my own Delmar card, drove there, and it was just like this rite of passage. You could rent any horror movie, and it was like, that was where they had all the SOV stuff, and it was amazing.
So were they a franchise in the Midwest?
It was a one.
What? Oh, okay.
And it was such a weird location. It was in the middle of like this industrial warehouse complex, and it was like nothing but warehouses, and then Delmar Video. It was the weirdest place, but it was so cool. But when Taint Light came out, I was at the video store. I went to Delmar. This was, well after high school, but Taint Light came out and they had it. They had Taint Light at Delmar, and I was so excited. Like, oh my God, I have made it. Cool. I'm at Delmar Video. And I went up to the counter to tell the guy. There was like this clerk, and I was like, I am in this movie. That's me on the cover. Do you see it? He could not have cared less. He was just like, great. Are you going to rent it or what? I was like, no, I'm in it. I'm just really excited.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't have the history that's playing through your brain of all those visits to Delmar as a kid and being there, and just the transference of like, now, I'm finally, I've arrived, and he takes the wind out of your sails.
I just completely pissed in my Cheerios. Yeah. It was such a bummer, but I was really excited about it. But yes, I'm in Taint Light.
Yeah. The good news is that guy's dead now. So
who knows? Maybe I could be. I did kill him.
No. Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to just jump to that conclusion.
I was a little upset he didn't recognize me. I'm famous.
It's like, don't know who I am.
No, but you were talking about movies that I'm not in that IMDb lists me in. That's actually it's a funny Todd Sheets story.
Uh-huh.
So he did the movie Bone Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
It's a werewolf movie. He asked me to be in it. He said he needs somebody tall, thin to be in the werewolf costume. It's, a very prosthetic heavy werewolf costume. He said, do you want to be my werewolf? And I said, oh man, I would love to. That'd be great. But it just didn't work out. He was filming, I think it was like Friday nights here, because I live in Kansas City now. I don't know if I told you that. I'm in Kansas City. I have been for like 15 years. But he was filming here in Kansas City, and he was filming on Fridays. At the time, I was a karaoke DJ on the weekends. And so I worked a day job, and then I worked as a karaoke DJ, and I just couldn't make it work, because it wasn't paid, and I was working, I was making money, so I just couldn't do it. And which turned out to be a blessing for me, because it was in August that they were filming.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, you would have died.
A full prosthetic suit in Missouri. It's like, probably like it's
very humid.
Weather.
Very humid. Yeah.
Yeah, disgusting. And so I didn't do it, which it sucked. I was bummed, but I couldn't do it. And I had somebody at some other premiere. They're like, oh my God, I loved you in Bone Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not in Bone Hill Road. And they're like, no, you're listed in the credits in the movie. Like, it literally in the credits.
So not just IMDb mistake, actually in the movie.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not the werewolf. I wasn't in the movie. I don't know if I feel bad, whoever was the werewolf.
Yeah.
It was not me.
Unless maybe it was somebody that had been in the movie in so many different parts, they wanted to mix the names around.
I don't know. But it was just like, oh shit. I hope whoever it was gets credited for that, because it was not me. Like,
that's fine.
Yeah. I felt bad, but I'm not in Bone Hill Road. I wish I was, but
if you were, and if it was at Del Mar, you would be sure to take that up to the clerk.
Oh,
and be
absolutely.
Like, hey,
look
pal,
at this.
two movies in your store.
No, but and I would love to do more stuff with Todd. I've done a few things with him. But yeah, that one I'm not in. So
okay. All right. We have Happy Holidays and the Dingleberries.
I'm in both of those.
Yep.
I love those. Are actually, I had a lot of fun filming both.
Dude,
of those
I first off, I love Tiny Terrors. I don't know if you can tell. I've got a Chucky and I've got Mort from Tales from the Crypt. If you remember the one with Don Rickles, where he's got the remember the conjoined twin on his arm.
Yes.
I've got Arnold from the Munchies. I've got the minion from. Actually, I've got two different minions from the Gate. I love me some Tiny Terrors.
Yeah. So
Dingleberries was right. Actually, that may have been one of the first ones I got from Chris. I was like, when I found out he made a Tiny Terrors movie about basically little turds that were.
Yeah, Dingleberries is great. If we could talk Chris into being Minty Dave again, that would be great.
Oh, yes. Minty Dave was great.
He hates Minty Dave. He said he won't do it again. I don't know why. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in both of those.
Yes, I do believe you're in Sex Squatch.
Yes, I'm in Sex Squatch. I'm on the cover.
Yeah. Yes.
That's my dumb face. I think I don't remember if I had a beard in that one or not, but I know on the cover I don't.
You don't. Yeah, that's why it's hard to place you, because isn't it weird how a beard makes that much of a difference?
Well, a beard makes a difference, and my hair is different all the time.
Different. Yes.
So
yes. Yeah, I have seen Sex Squatch. It's funny.
Yeah, Sex Squatch is good.
And I've also seen The Weirdsies.
I am also in The Weirdsies. Yes.
This one I actually watched on Tubi. This was, I think, when I was going down my Tubi.
Okay. Yeah.
Hole. Yeah. So I think
The Weirdsies is one people tend to really like quite a bit. So
are you in any of the Death of Lantern movies? Do we ask? I never asked that.
I am in the Death of Lantern remake.
Okay. So that would be this one.
Yes, I'm in that one. I am actually Stingy Jack.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm Stingy Jack, and I think somebody else in that. I don't remember, but I know Stingy Jack was. I was really excited about that because I always want to be the monster.
Yeah,
and I don't get to do it very often. So
were you in 3 Death Lantern 3?
No.
Okay.
So just the remake.
Okay.
And well, technically, I'm in the first 2 because I'm the Warlock.
Technically, yes, that's correct.
We didn't film that when we filmed the movie.
Got it. Yeah.
So usually we'll film like a bunch of Warlock intros kind of all at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm in it, but I'm not. Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. It was like a scheduling thing. I just couldn't come out for it. I wanted to, but
yeah. Did I miss any movies that you've done with Chris?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are a lot that I've done that weren't in that pile, but that's the one I tell people the most about that I really, really like is Phantom of the Grindhouse.
Yes, and that one, that one he doesn't have currently out, correct? Because I remember hearing about that.
Well, yeah, there's a table there. I think, so he does. I don't know if this is like an official Phantom of the Grindhouse.
So does he sell it currently?
I don't know if he just made this specifically for. Oh,
I got you. Okay, because I remember you guys talking about that one, and I wanted to see it, but I don't think he had it at the time.
I would say hit him up.
I will hit him up.
He probably will. Okay. I don't know that this is an official. No, this is definitely an official Blu-ray.
Yeah,
very handwritten logo.
Yeah.
But I mean, talk to him. I'm sure he could get you one. I love that movie. Everyone else, I think, that shot it had the most miserable time.
Oh, really?
I was having a blast. I was having so much fun. And
I remember you guys talking about that because I thought that was a funny anecdote.
Yeah. Clint especially had a really bad shoot. He got really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, just like massive head cold, like violently ill, didn't sleep. And I felt bad because I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
And everyone else wasn't. So I don't know. It's for me, I got to play some of my favorite characters I've ever played in Chris's movies too. So I got to play basically Dr. Loomis from Halloween. But as Chris would write that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it's been Seaverized.
Yeah. So it's I'm very deadpan, very serious the whole time I'm doing it, but the things I'm saying are utterly ridiculous.
Got it.
And I was supposed to, Dr. Loomis is bald. So we were like, how are we going to do that? So we got me the cheapest bald cap imaginable.
You could totally see the lines.
I mean, it wasn't even the same skin color. It was like very different. And then we thought it would be funny, so we took cotton balls and we like glued them to the side. So I had like a bowl, but then we put one on the top and just kind of like
a Cupid doll or a.
It like kind of like fluffed it out and it would like blow in the wind while I was talking. And I'm trying to be like serious.
This is the Phantom movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've got
Phantom of the Grindhouse.
Okay.
And I'm also a different character, Salisbury Buckleberry. I am a magician. He is based off of Doug Henning, who is a magician.
Oh, I remember Doug Henning. Yes.
But yeah, if you don't know it's me, I guess I might have ruined it that it is me.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to tell that it's me. Because I have like really long curly hair, a mustache, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but Phantom of the Grindhouse legitimately has some of the funniest shit in it. Yeah. I think just a lot of people that did it had a bad time shooting.
Yeah.
So they don't like it as much as I do, but I had a lot of fun. I got to eat poutine for the first time while filming that.
I don't think I've ever had poutine. I've heard of poutine, but
you should. You should. Yeah, we shot that one in Wellsville, New York.
Okay.
But that was a fun time.
Cool.
So Phantom of the Grindhouse, look that one up.
I will. Fun. Definitely. So what do you have coming up? Wellsville Nights, the next couple episodes.
Yeah, so let me pull out the old cheat sheet here. So yeah, Wellsville Nights is coming this summer. We're going to be working on that. Shot on video Vigilantes, maybe some new episodes coming soon. Here in Kansas City, one thing I'm a part of, we do every month at a local theater, we do Analog Sunday. My buddy at Magnetic Magic Rentals, you can follow him on Instagram. He does a monthly VHS screening, and it is usually some of the most ridiculous stuff. He'll do like a whole pre-show where it's like a 30-minute pre-show ahead of time. He'll, record all that fun stuff, and then he'll play the movie. Gosh, I can't even think of the movie he showed recently. It was Absolution with Mario Lopez and Richard Grieco.
Wow.
But I mean, it's a David Dakota movie, and it is, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they'll do like VHS trading before the show. The pre-show is like fun. Awesome. And then, the movie. And it's great. I look forward to it every month. Been doing a lot of voice acting as well. So that's been nice. Looking for more stuff there. And as I wrote on here, hopefully soon in a Polonia movie.
Yep. That would be. So remember, Polonias, if anybody's listening.
Yeah. Polonia. Mark
friends. Polonia. Yeah. Friend of Mark,
anybody, let him know.
Third cousin twice removed.
But that's if nothing else, look up their movies on Tubi. For me, we talk about it on the SOV Vigilantes, just the heart of shot on video movies. Yes. Like, these people obviously love what they're doing.
Yes.
And so they are out there, they're filming it, they're doing it. And I love it. And
and I feel like that's a great point, because I feel like that as somebody who was familiar with a lot of these things, but didn't see them as like young as you guys did. Yeah. I think as I've gotten older, when I was young, I was kind of a snob about a lot of things.
Oh, sure.
But as I've gotten older and I've mellowed, it's like I have this deeper appreciation for just effort and heart and just that passion that comes through. And I obviously am not delusional, and I get, that yes, that's not how you frame a shot. That's not, I can barely make out what's happening. Doesn't matter. It's there's an energy to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's like an energy that some of these movies have. I really enjoy. I totally understand why they are not for everybody. I get it. Yeah. But I like them.
They just have that love, like the absolute love. And like earlier Polonia movies on to now, like you can just tell that they love what they're doing. They're not in it making money. They're not going to get rich making these movies. They do it because they love
making movies. Yep.
And there's just something magic about it. And I again recently have gone down that rabbit hole on Tubi. Like, so many of their movies are on there, and I get home. So
if you just search Polonia on Tubi, is that sufficient, or do you need to know the title?
I think usually if you find one, it'll
recommend
others, but usually I just kind of IMDb one. Or just like, oh, I haven't seen this. Let's check this out. Like, I recently watched Razor Teeth.
Okay.
It's their movie about piranhas, or like, piranha-like fish that are in a lake. I love it. It's just, they're not for everybody, but I absolutely love their movies. So yes. I think one of the ones I talked about was Halloween Night.
Yes.
I think that was on there. If you can find that one.
Halloween Night. I've been like taking notes as we're talking.
Yeah. Halloween Night is really fun. Really, really fun. So
I will watch that one.
Yeah.
That one and Scary Tales, I'm going to make my priorities.
Ooh, yeah. Now you're making me want to go back and rewatch this stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, and I think the other thing that I truly appreciate, and I feel like we're pretty much around the same age, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Being like a Gen Xer and like growing up where everything's got to be ironic and this, what I love is, and I definitely get from you guys, and maybe I'm misreading the room here, but you guys don't love these movies ironically. Like,
no.
And that's what I think when people hear me say, oh, I loved, ozone or whatever it is. Oh yeah, it's ironic. No, I don't love Sleepwalkers ironically. I don't love Dr. Giggles ironically. I actually love those movies.
No, and I'm the same way. I mean, it's I think I have a very high threshold for trash movies, but Chris says that frequently. I think he thinks I'm a masochist. Like but I actually just really like these movies, and it's not like they're so bad they're good. There's something about them, and it's probably that heart. I just love them,
and I just have respect for people who put and honestly is that too, where it's like Ed Wood obviously is like the cliche one to go to. I always felt like it was kind of BS to say he was Plan 9's the worst movie. I think, man, you haven't seen some things. If you think Plan 9 is, first off, just watch The English Patient. Okay, if you think Plan 9 is the worst movie.
I mean, if you think Plan 9's bad, check out Terror at Bloodfart Lake. You haven't seen anything yet,
But you know what I mean? But it's like Ed Wood's passion for what he was doing, I feel like comes through it. That's what makes his movie so endearing to people. And because I feel like I remember being in college when the Tim Burton movie came out, and it's like there was this resurgence at that time, like a lot of especially a college kid, like, oh, I love these. But it was that whole so bad it's good, goof on it kind of vibe. And I even remember then not feeling great about that, because I think especially if you've made things and you know how effing hard it is to even make schlock, it's, it changes your perception to a degree. You kind of, it's like, I could goof on it, sure, but why?
But sometimes you in a way feel bad because you're not doing it to make fun of this person. It's
now if you spent $300 million on your movie, oh no, I'll bash that shit all day long, bro.
Yeah,
there's no excuse. There's no damn excuse.
Yeah, if you can't make a good movie with that much money,
with a gajillion dollars, no pity, no pity. But
that if you're scraping
$500
together, you're scraping together a budget to get that.
Yep.
More power to you. And it's I definitely agree with you. So.
Well, dude, this has actually been great. I would love to have you on again sometime if you're ever interested. I've had Chris on. He's put up with me a few times. Clint's put up with me a couple of times. So we could have you on. I've been trying, as I get people back, I like to do not necessarily top 10, because I hate doing lists because
I'm awful with lists.
But I would say pick 10 movies. That you feel are, I also hate the phrase guilty pleasure because I'm not guilty for any of this shit. Sure. There's no guilt. It's I call it sentimental favorites, not guilty pleasures. But I'm going to have somebody back on the show. We're going to do his 10, sentimental favorites that he gets and nobody else gets, that kind of thing. So I love you. Or we could maybe just pick a movie and review it.
I'm all about it. Let me know. One movie you're going to want to ask Chris about. Talk to him about how much he loves Phantasm.
Oh, dude, Phantasm is amazing. I love Phantasm.
He hates Phantasm.
He hates Phantasm? He hates Phantasm?
He hates it.
Really?
It's been a gag for years because I absolutely love Phantasm. It's probably in my top 5 favorite movies ever made.
I'm with you, man. I love that movie.
I love it.
Phantasm.
He just doesn't like it. And he kept saying for years, he's like, eventually we're going to do a movie marathon. I'll sit down and I'll watch them all with you.
Yeah.
I drove, without telling him, all the way from Kansas City to Rochester, New York. And it was I want to say it was 2021, because it was after that year of COVID where you weren't traveling as much.
Yeah.
And I just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I got in my car and I drove. I stopped in Indiana to visit my family, and then I drove to Rochester and showed up at his door. Surprise, motherfucker, we're watching Phantasm.
That's amazing.
I think he made it through. I think as far as he made it was 1 and 2. And I think he
really
tapped out. He does not. It's just not for him. But
that's interesting. I feel like Chris is from my point of view, I obviously don't know him nearly as well as you do. Yeah. But it's hard to peg. I get some of them. I get if it's 80s and I get I definitely get what his wheelhouse is.
Yes.
But that's interesting.
He will surprise you with things he does and doesn't.
When he was on, we talked about our 10. It was 10 teen comedies that we feel were kind of not as championed as other, you know, like they were like non-John Hughes movies basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And I threw on there The Heavenly Kid because I grew up watching. I remember watching it a lot with my sister.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Super cheesy. Love it. He hates it.
Oh, I know. And it's so funny because like things you would think he's gonna love.
Yeah.
You bring it up and he's just like, ugh.
Yeah. Yes.
I can hear him say, ugh.
Yeah, exactly what he did.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But I showed him a movie years ago and I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. It was Haunted Ween.
I've heard of that. I've not seen it.
Vinegar Syndrome just put it out on the Homegrown Horrors Volume 3 set.
I'm adding it
Haunted
to the
Ween
list.
is so much fucking fun, and I love it. And I had watched like a bootleg of it back in like 2009. I got it from some website. It's awesome. I fucking love it. I showed it to him, and he absolutely hated it. And I was like, what the hell? How can you hate this movie? Recently, I brought it back. You know, I brought him the Blu-ray. We all watched it, and he loved it. So, I mean,
it's a timing thing.
It must be. I don't know, but yeah, it's. But then there are things that I'm like, oh, surely he's seen this. Like I showed him a movie called The Midnight Hour. Oh,
I love that. Yeah, the TV movie. That's great.
Which, you know,
is it Peter DeLuise that's in that? And,
yeah.
John DeLuise is definitely.
I mean, that was like, I don't know, 15 years ago. I showed that to him. He fell in love with it immediately.
Yeah. But see, I would have predicted that, right?
That one seemed, but I thought everybody had seen that movie, so we didn't really talk about it.
Yeah.
And then I showed it to him, and it's like one of his favorite movies now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He is a hard one to peg. I will give you that.
Yes. Yeah. I do know no drama. Yeah. I brought up like Goodfellas and Sling Blade and stuff, and he was like, "Rrr."
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat though.
Yeah, I love all genres. So I used to not like really be into Westerns at all, which is funny.
Yeah.
Like my dad loved them, and I had friends, but there's certain ones I appreciated. But I've never been much of a musical guy unless it's like a horror based musical, like Little Shop of Horrors or something. But yeah, most genres I'm down for.
I'm pretty strict on my horror, action, comedy. Those
are my top ones. Yeah,
that's my wheelhouse. But I'll get into some other stuff. But that's my jam. So
yeah, but back to being pretentious. I was like the guy in high school who was reading like Martin Scorsese's biography. You know.
I've never been that guy.
I was that guy, and believe me, it's for the best that you weren't.
Yeah. I am the guy who was literally championing redneck zombies. Or, that. Yeah,
I was doing that too. Weird. I had this weird schizophrenic relationship with that kind of thing. But
I get it.
Yeah, dude. No, it's been great, man. I really appreciate you doing this.
I've had a blast. Yeah,
man. And I would love to have you on again. And so every episode, and I'll pause when we're done with the episode. I'll pause it. You don't have to jump off like a.
Okay.
But every episode we end, and I never warn our guests that I do this, so I'll just tell you now. At Mom and Pop's, our love of, and then you'll say something, and then I'll say never stops. So it could be anything. Usually it's like something related to what we're talking about, or it could be anything. Believe me, every time I say it to Chris, he says like the most, of course, random.
Oh my God. Don't ever. Don't open things up to Chris.
Yeah. But which I kind of love. So I'm good with that. So here we go. So wrapping up this great episode, this great interview with Andrew, be sure to check all of his stuff out. And remember, at Mom and Pop's, our love of
Phantasm
never stops.